3D printing is a fun activity that allows you to create prints that are functional for your entertainment or that you could sell to customers as a business. I got started with 3D printing about 1.5 years ago with my Bamboo Lab A1 and AMS light combo that you see here, which was about the same time that I started this YouTube channel so that I could chronicle my journey. Since then, I've uploaded a bunch of videos, some of them demonstrating this printer's capabilities, some showing off projects and different accessories that you could 3D print, instructional videos for 3D modeling and the slicer software, and I've collaborated with a few different businesses within the 3D printing industry so that I could demonstrate their products for you guys. This is Rohan of Creatorrific here, and today I have more of a story time video explaining my unique introduction to 3D printing, so stick around to hear how that unfolded because I think you might find it interesting. So if you're visiting my channel for the first time, hello, welcome. And if you're returning, I'm glad to have you back. So first and foremost, I wanted to announce that I'm going to be sharing content on more than just 3D printing going forward, and that'll include other types of hardware, resources, applications, and processes that we can use for creative projects and maybe to build side hustles with as well. For example, Cricut, who makes hardware for craft making, and their equipment has a wide range of applications, just upgraded their Explorer and Maker models of cutters, and I plan on getting my hands on one of these in the future. I recently got engaged, and my fiance and I are planning for our wedding next year, and we're looking to cut costs where we can and add some personalized character. So this would help us in that regard, as well as we could create other fun projects, which I think you guys would find interesting. For the people that subscribe for my 3D printing content, rest assured, I'm going to continue to upload demonstrational videos, cool projects, and show off any cool accessories that I could get my hands on. I could explain later why I'm deciding to go this direction, but for now, let's just dive into our story. So first and foremost, I just like to kind of introduce myself because since I started my YouTube channel, I've been behind the camera because I was initially shy about being in front of the camera. And then recently I've been on camera more as I've gotten comfortable with it. But I thought it'd be nice to build more of a connection with you guys and bring a bit more personality than the scripted videos and format that I typically do. So my name's Rohan and I work as a graphic designer within the TV and film industry within my day job. So my title is a first assistant art director, and I've worked on a number of TV series and feature films throughout the years. So on these productions, I'm in charge of providing graphics to the various departments to support our scripts. So that's set decoration, props, wardrobe, and the list goes on. So this could be anything from dressing that's in the background to help establish our set, like photographs, paintings on a wall, magazines on a table. This could be props that actors interact with, like a coffee cup with a graphic on it, or a pack of cigarettes. Or it could be graphics applied to a vehicle, like a taxi cab or police car. So the range of application for graphics is pretty wide, and it varies setting to setting, episode to episode, or production to production. So we're not just limited to digital graphics or 2D graphics that we have to provide. Some of the times the task will require us to go beyond that so that we can produce what's needed. So typically as a graphic designer, I work using the Adobe Creative Suite for most of my tasks. But outside of that, I also use 3D modeling software like Rhino, Fusion 360, and I dabble in Blender and Unreal Engine as well as other softwares. Okay, so now you guys know a bit about me and what I do in my day job, but what does that have to do with 3D printing? I'll get to that, but first I wanted to give a really quick shout out to my paid sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is an awesome company offering high quality custom prototyping and fabrication services. They also do 3D printing and offer less common materials like aluminum, stainless steel, and titanium. Their pricing is affordable, they have low order minimums, they provide instant quotes with just the click of a button, and they make ordering simple. Just upload your model, input your quantity and material type, then hit the submit request button. Your order can then be finalized after receiving more accurate pricing via email. Visit PCBWay.com to get started today. All right, let's get back to it. So it was about a couple of years ago that I was working on a certain production, and they had a request that I produce an Olympic silver medal for a few scenes. So when it comes to productions, as a graphic designer, you have to deal with legal and clearance in order to be able to reproduce brands' IPs like their logos and designs. So in this particular instance, we had the go-ahead to use Olympic within our dialogue, but unfortunately, we didn't have the clearance to reproduce the official Olympic logo or their medal designs. So we had to get creative, as we typically do, and design it in a way that is as close to the real thing as possible without infringing. So the way I was able to produce it was I designed it first in Illustrator in 2D, and then I brought it over into Rhino, and then using the 2D sketch that I created, I extruded the elements to give me my silver medal. So I'll show you guys the actual medal here, which this one is a spare that I was able to keep at the end of the show. See the ribbon there? But this is the medal. So this is the actual prop from the TV show one more time. So this is the first thing that I actually ever modeled for 3D printing. So this was a pretty fun task for me compared to generating posters or drink labels or that sort of thing. And it got me really inspired to get my own 3D printer. So I'd been interested in 3D printing since it first came about. And I had a 3D printer sitting in my Amazon shopping cart for about a year. But after this, I couldn't help but think to myself, man, it would have been cool to go from conception to finished product. So this one as well, I forget the vendor that we used, but I believe they 3D printed it and then they did some sort of shrink wrap to give it this metallic texture. So it's not electroplated, although it looks, electroplating probably would look a little better, but this looks excellent as well. And then the ribbon we sent to a textile place, a place that does typically fabrics and that sort of thing, and they sublimated this. So with that, I was really inspired to get my own 3D printer. And I started immediately doing research, looking around for different models, comparing prices, that sort of thing, learning about it more. And another reason I wanted to get a 3D printer is because in our industry, the more skills, the more tools you bring to the table, the more of an asset you are on the job. By the way, if you're enjoying this content, please hit the like and subscribe button. Plus, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thanks. So having a 3D printer, I'm thinking in my mind at that time, oh, that'd be cool for allowing me to create unique props in-house. That could be a made up town's police badge. That could be a helmet. There's sci-fi productions out there. So it just really appealed to me. So a few months later, after doing my research and everything, I decided to dive in, committing to my Bamboo Lab A1 and AMS Lite combo. And I've been happy with this printer, really happy ever since. So at the same time I got my 3D printer, I decided to also take the plunge into content creation by starting this YouTube channel. I've been curious but hesitant about starting a YouTube channel for probably a couple of years prior, and I decided then that it would be the perfect time to dive into this new hobby and try it out. And so I uploaded my first video to this YouTube channel, I believe it was in January or February of 2024. It was good timing as 3D printing seems to have gained more and more popularity over the last years, and this particular model of printer received a lot of attention. I also want to give a sincere and special thank you to everyone that supports this channel, especially early on. I was overwhelmed with the support and words of encouragement that I received from you guys early on with my first few uploads, and that motivated me to keep going and building this channel, so thank you. Now speaking to what I mentioned earlier and deciding to expand my channel beyond 3D printing. Well, I gave you guys my background story, which explains a little bit about who I am and what I do. But that's only part of it. So outside of my day job as a designer, I like to build things, try different creative projects, and I consider myself to be an entrepreneur in terms of building side hustles. So this is where I feel like I could deliver more value to you guys here on YouTube with my wide range of experience and skills, instead of just focusing in on the 3D printing niche, where there's no shortage of content creators showing you the latest 3D printers or accessories that you could print for them. Just within the last year since I got my 3D printer, I've noticed more and more content creators flooding YouTube daily. So with that being said, I find that for me personally, there's just a bit of redundancy within the space, with everybody rushing to report the same news and produce the same content. And for me personally, I want to produce videos that are unique, videos that bring value to you guys, and videos that are engaging, and not just shell out videos for the sake of shelling out videos to stay relevant within 3D printing. Even though I enjoy 3D printing, again, I feel I have so much more value to offer, and 3D printing is one aspect that I'd like to share with my viewers, but there's so much more as well that can even be complementary. So going forward, I'd like Creatorrific to become more of a hub and community for creatives and entrepreneurs to come and check out cool things, learn stuff, and get inspired. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for future videos. I appreciate you if you stuck around till the end here. And by the way, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments as well about how you got into 3D printing, how you're enjoying it, or maybe some other cool things that you're interested in as well. So that's the end of it. I hope that you can find time for creativity and inspiration in your life. And until next time, see you then.